issue is invalid column name. Now it's straight away. Just go to the middle tab. There are 3 tabs, right? One is error, one is stats. Just go to the stats. Now we have issues where MAKT trans. Okay, now go to the error back. See how to recognize where the error is. As of now, you see DF TARNS MAKT This is in the proceed mode. It means there is the error. Let's go there straight away. MAKT. Just click on the data flow. Now click on validate all. Validate
click
all.
on validate all.
Yes.
This from here?
No. Go top. Go to top.
This is validate all.
Do you see 100%?
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
to it, there is valid. Next to that, there is validate all. Click on validate all. No issues. Okay. Now go to the error back. Do back or go to the monitor tab. Let's go to the monitor tab.
Which one is it, Brad?
There is designer, there is monitor, there is log on the left hand side below project area.
Below project area.
Yes, below project area. This is local object library, not this one. Click on the monitor tab. Click on the
this one.
Yes. Now click on the job again. JBMM transform. Okay. Now click on error. Again, let's try to analyze what's the issue. No. This is stats. Yes, this is it. What is it trying to tell me? It's trying to tell me general error, invalid column name. MAKT invalid column name. Okay. Go back to the data flow. Then on the source table, do right click, show in local repository.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
now
from here,
not here. Click on the designer.
Okay.
Now go back to transform. Now click on the source table. Click there. Click on the data flow. I want to go to the data flow first. Now click on the left hand side, source table, right? No, not there. Click on the table. Right click on the table. Show in local repo. Show in local repo. Now delete it from here. Just hit delete.
From the local repo or here, this one, Brad?
From the canvas. Just click it and delete. Now drag it back from the local object library. Yes, now connect it. Let's see what happened. Now open query trans. Double click on it. Okay, what's the issue? Okay, this go back. Double click on the table, MAKT, on the target table. Not here.
This one.
Not here. Double click on the target table. Double click on the table. Yes, this one. Perfect. Now go to options. Drop in recreate. It should. What's the issue? Can you run this? Can you run this job in debug mode? Sometimes there might be some issue. Okay, click on the JBMM transform.
Right.
Yes, anything can work. Yes, click on right click. Now start debug. Yes, start debug. Let's see. If it still gives us an error, then we will see. Yes, do yes, save is okay. Just do okay. Let's see what happens now. If anytime you are getting issues and you don't find a solution, just run your code in debug mode.
Okay.
Yeah, there is still an error. Click yes. Okay, go back to the data flow. Now, can you click on that magnifying glass?
This one?
Yes. See, there is no data there. It means you did not extract this data. Now, I will show you what to do. See, whenever you get this error on clicking on the magnifying glass, it means the data is not there. The table is present in BODS only. You did not create this table in the HANA Studio. You are trying to tell from the board job, hey, get this data from LND MAKT to ext08. Now, BODS is trying to tell you, hey, this is not present. Now, how do you do it? Right click on this table, show in local repo. Show in local repo. Now right click again on the table. View where used. No, not here, not here. or in
This
the
one.
local, yes, perfect.
Mm.
Now see where view were used. Okay. Now see, this is being used as a target somewhere. Now right click on that, view were used. Okay, again, right click on the target. I'm just trying to show you how to debug view were used. Okay, this is the job now, right? Now we will click, now we will search this job in your project and run it first.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is
This is
MMU.
JBMM.
This one.
Yeah, second last. Perfect. Now right click and run it. Execute. That's okay. You understand how do we debug?
Yeah.
Okay. Click on the cross button. Close it. Now this is done. Now run the transform again. Execute. Again, there is an error. What's the error?
The same.
Okay.
Trans.
Go to the go to JBMM next new ext. Show me what you are doing there. I don't think you ran it because there was a conditional workflow. You just ran it without giving the value to conditional workflow. Execute it again. Go to the global variables. Now give material as yes. You did not run it. Change N to yes for material. Capital Y. Now run it. Go to stats. Second tab. Again, you are having issues in this workflow. Click on this error button. Yeah, show me what's the error now. See, cannot connect to SAP data store. Please make sure the SAP server is running and login information is correct. Do one thing, which is the go to your job new ext. Go inside ext, the first one. Double click on this. Now double click on Mara. Now I want to see the data for MARA. Is it working? No, it's not working.
No.
Okay. Now do one thing. Click on close this HDB HANA database. Close this. There is some issue with the server now. Now we right click on ECC E8P8. No. In the data store. In the data store, Baba. In the data store. Local object library. You have a data store. Right click on it. Now show in local central object library. Now right click on it. Get latest version. Object only object. Yes, perfect. If you change some connections, it might have some issues. If again we are unable to see the data, then I will check with Manvi Tech. There is some issue, the server is down or the SAP ERP is down. Now close it and again go to open this, close the central object library as well. Now do one thing. Open this ECC6 EHP8. Now open the tables. Right click on any table. View data. View data. No, it's not working. Now I will check with them. Just a minute. Okay. What I will do? I will start with the information stewards.
Okay.
I will ask Manvi to correct this, and then you should be able to do it.
Okay. Okay, Brad.
Just
Thank
give me a
you.
second. Just give me a second.
Do you need a screenshot of this?
I don't need.
Okay.
This is ECC6 underscore EHP8, right?
Yes.
I'm just trying to ping him. Can you check if S4 is working?
Yeah.
Just open S4 HANA 2022 and check any table if it's working. No, not. You can check it here.
Yeah. Oh, here itself.
Yeah, here itself. It's already connected. Close this. View data, close this. Now go to S4 HANA 2022. Open any table and right click. View data. This is what. Yeah. Now go to HANA DB, check one table there, any template table,
What template?
any table, any damn table, it's okay. Just right click and view data. If the data is coming, then we are good. We only have the issue with ECC.
Yeah.
Perfect. Only ECC is having issues. Please check. Yeah, it will get resolved. Saranya, just give
Okay.
me some time.
Oh, 1 second there.
Yeah. This is information stewards, system details. Now I want to come to information stewards. So whenever we start any data migration project, the first and foremost thing that we do is to do the profiling. What is profiling? Profiling is we are checking source data against any inconsistencies. Now, if you show me your vendor data, it might happen you are saving the email address as abcd123 dash 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 because there is no check in SAP on email address. Someone might be storing telephone number as 111 8 digits, 11111 12 digits. The data is not consistent, right? It's from the consistency point of view. Now we might have some data like the material has been marked for deletion. We might have some material that are marked for deletion at the plant level. Some might be marked for deletion at the sales level. Okay. Some might be marked for deletion at the valuation level. But the same material might be used somewhere. That can happen. For example, I'm marking a material for deletion at the central level, that is just at Mara level. But ultimately, I'm using the same material in one of my bombs. So before starting any migration, client wants to know how clean is his data. Should he move ahead and go for mock 1 or should he clean his data first? That is the first thing. Now, why do we profile this data? The first thing, we need to check the data consistency in our source system. How clean is our data? How consistent is my data? That is the first thing. Second thing, it will ultimately help us to create the extraction criterias. For example, I am telling my client by the help of information stewards that your 200 materials out of 20,000 materials are marked for deletion. You take up, you take, I mean to say, a decision whether you will clean these materials in your source system or you will give me a mitigation plan. What is a mitigation plan? The mitigation plan can be whenever he plans his DDD, he will just mention it. Hey, please do not extract those materials that are marked for deletion. This can be one mitigation plan. The second mitigation plan can be, okay, this material is being used in maybe one of the bombs or one of the sales orders. Let's do one thing. I will replace this material by X material by Y material. That is again a mitigation plan. Now, I can tell again, I can come back and I can tell my client, hey, 200 of your materials are marked for deletion in plant XYZ. What should we do with them? He can either ask me, please do not migrate these materials, or he can tell me, hey, we are planning to dismantle this XYZ plant. We are going to create one more plant, ABC. You have to map this plant XYZ to ABC. Now, what is he helping me? This information steward is helping me to create the XREF files, right? So even before your data migration comes into picture, the first and foremost thing that we need to do is the data profiling. Every client will do this data profiling. He will check his basic data against all the inconsistencies or whatever, I mean to say, the data migration team can tell him to do, right? We have the expertise, right? We can tell him, hey, can you please, we need to check data against mark for deletion. We need to check mark for deletion at the sales level, at the valuation level, at the plant level. Then we can go for the vendors, then we can go for the bombs, we can check pricing, all these details we can check. No, 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 sir, no, sir. We will take the lead. Data migration team will take the lead. They will create some rules based on their experience. We will propose all those rules to the business. Hey, we are doing this profiling based on this rule. Do you have any inputs? Then they will tell you, okay, I have a mitigation plan. I don't want to migrate this material, or I will change this material, or I will clean my source data. They will not tell you the rules. Each company has its own set of rules. It depends on your experience. Your project manager will be having some information steward rules, some 600, 700 rules. We simply go and we apply those rules. Then we showcase them to the client. He can tell you, yes, these rules look good to me. Or he can tell you, can you please add two more rules? Because he understands his data best. If I go for the BOM, for example, I have to do the data profiling for BOM. I can simply take the material, check for mark for deletion in the Mara level. Then I will ask my client, hey, what is the plant you are going for pilot, first pilot? He will tell me, I want to go for X, Y, and Z plant. Then I will check these materials, mark for deletion at X, Y, Z plant. Then I will tell him, hey, what is the sales organization that you are planning to migrate for the pilot one? He will tell me, I am planning to use X, Y, Z, X, Y, X, Y, X, 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 right? Then I will do some profiling based on my knowledge. I will prepare some sheets, I will prepare some bad data, I will showcase it to them. Then he will take a call. He can tell you, yes, these rules are looking good to me. Or he can tell you, can you please change this rule to this? Or can you please add some more rules to the material master, vendor, customer? He can guide you on that. But the first thing is we will do it. We are just checking the source data. This profiling is important because the moment you have some 6-7 years of experience in interviews, they expect you to know information stewards. This is how we do the quality checks on data. Is this clear? Why we do data? Why do we data profiling? Why do we do it? Is this clear? What is the purpose? How does it help us? How does IS help me? I told you this can help me in cleansing of data, cleansing of source data. Okay. Second, it can help me in the creation of extra DDDs, right? For example, you are showing your client, hey, 700 materials are marked for deletion. He can tell you, okay, in his extraction criteria, he will mention, do not migrate any material that is marked for deletion, right? It can help you to come to the XREFs, right? For example, you are telling him, hey, these materials are being marked for deletion at this plant. He can tell you, okay, we will not be using this plant because we are planning to dismantle this plant. We will create a new plant. Say for X, we are creating a new plant Y. Then he will give you a cross-referencing file. Say legacy X, target it will be Y. You follow me? So ultimately, what are we trying to achieve? We are trying to achieve good quality data. I don't want to start my data migration and then in the middle of somewhere I tell him, hey, your data is not looking good. Your 600 materials are marked for deletion. You take a call. No, I don't want to do that. I want to tell him upfront how his data is looking like in the source system. So whenever we use information stewards, we will always use it from the source point of view. Okay? Just to help our clients to come to some decisions. How will they migrate their data? Information stewards helps me to profile data. What is profiling? Profiling is simply doing some checks in your source data to check the data quality. Simple. You are checking quality of data. You are checking consistency of data. You are checking accurateness of data in the source system. And for that in SAP, we use a tool called information stewards. No, this is not validation. We are not validating anything. Whenever we are validating anything, we will validate it against S4 HANA system. As of now, leave data migration from the mind. Leave migration, leave S4 HANA. As of now, we are in the initial stage. We are in the discovery phase. Information steward is used in the discovery phase of project. We want to tell our client whether his data is good to go or not. Usually what clients do is like they set up a plan. Okay, if our data is, usually what clients do is they set up their mind like, hey, if the data is 50%, like the data is 50% correct or data is 50% clean, We will go ahead and do mock one. Okay. For pilot A. What is pilot? It can be for any region. For example, they tell me, hey, can you do some profiling for pilot UK? If for pilot UK data is more than 50%, data profiling, data information steward is telling me your data is 50% clean, then they can tell me, okay, go ahead and do the mock one-off or migrate data for UK pilot. They will prepare they will prepare extraction criterias based on these rules, based on these scores. They will prepare the XREF files, and they can tell me, okay, go ahead and do the mock one-off or load it to S4HANA system. But if the data is only 20% clean, what will they do with this data in S4HANA? No, they will then tell me, okay, let's keep UK on hold. You do the profiling of US now. For this 20%, we will first clean our system so that we achieve the minimum threshold. They sometimes set the threshold at 50, 60, 70. It depends on the client. Now I will keep this in hold. UK will be on hold now. They will clean this data. I will rerun my jobs again for UK. Once it comes above 50%, then I will go ahead. They will go ahead and create the DDDs, XREFs for Pilot UK. Then Pilot UK will again come into picture. If the data if the scope, or if the, what do you call this? If the score is less, they will not move ahead. They will simply put it on hold. They will move ahead with some other pilot, say US. You follow me? What is the use? How does it help us? How we do it, that's a separate thing. I will show you how we do it. But why we do it is an important question. Why do we use information stewards? To check the consistency, quality, accuracy of source data. Why does a client need it? He wants to check the quality of his data, and then based on the quality scorecard data, he will take a call whether we should move ahead for data migration, mock 1, mock 2, or should we hold and clean the data. Based on our rules, we will create some scores for each object, and then based on that score, client takes a call whether he will go for some data cleansing or he will go for some mitigation plans, whether we will I mean to say leave these materials behind. We will not migrate them. We will exclude them, or we will clean the source, or we will do some mitigation. Like, hey, we will change the material number A to with material number B, and then material number A will still remain in mark for deletion. It doesn't matter to us, because in downstream objects, says in sales orders, we will not use this material A. We are going to change in our source system. Material A will be changed to material B everywhere in the source system for all the downstream objects. Then we don't have any issues with material A. Let it be in the source system. We don't want it to migrate to target system. That's the mitigation plans. You guys follow me? How we do it, that's a separate question. Why we do it, how does it help? If you guys are clear on this, then I move ahead. Any questions till now? Anyone? Okay. As I already told you, what we need here is the source data. So what will we do upfront? We will first go to SAP BODS and do the extraction. For example, I want to create information steward rules for material master. Now, let me show you. Now here, in your projects, there will be something called rule ID. Then there will be rule description. Then there will be something called as parameter. I'm writing some basic things over here. There can be many things. For example, they tell me create rule RU01. Rule number 1, the rule description would be check materials marked for like crazy for deletion in basic data Mara. Okay, this can be my first rule. And then they can tell me, hey, keep the parameter as accuracy. What is this accuracy? I will tell you later. Then they can tell me rule ID 02. Check material marked for deletion in plant XX. Okay, then here it can be Marcy. Then they can tell me keep this rule in consistency, something like this. I will show you what it means. Suppose as of now I have two rules for material master. So what I will do, I will simply go to my BODS. Let me check if my data services is working. If not, we already have the tables extracted. The first thing is you will extract your data. Okay, let me see if this is working. Okay, it's working. Let's create a project. The first thing is we will project underscore is underscore profiling underscore Now,
Prasad here.
buddy, your voice is really not good. I cannot even hear you. So how is this HANA Studio setup? Sorry. Information, how is this setup? See, basically this is your HANA DB. This is your HANA DB. Okay. Don't know why this is happening today. This is your HANA DB. We already know this is connected to BODS, right? Your HANA DB is connected to BODS. And this HANA DB is again connected to your IS. My IS is not directly connected to BODS. For me, this HANA Studio is the bucket where my data is, right? So what do I need? My ECC is connected to BODS. So what I will do, I will get my data from ECC using middleware tool BODS, dump the data into my HANA DB. Now IS is connected to HANA DB. I can write some rules in HANA Studio. Sorry, in Information Stewards. So this is the complete structure. How IS is connected. Your ECC, your S4HANA is always connected to BODS. You are getting data from ECC, you are dumping it into your HANA DB. Then your IS is sitting on top of your HANA DB and you are creating some rules over here and you are calculating the scores. So the first and foremost thing I have to do is I have to extract data. That's what I'm trying to do using BODS. Let us say I create a job job underscore ext underscore underscore is. So this is my job. Let me create df underscore ext underscore underscore is, something like this. Okay. Now I want my Mara. We can write one more. I can write one more rule. RU03, like check if the material description is more than 50 characters. Okay. Now table will be MAKT. Now let me go here. I will check how many characters is MAKT. It will take 40, right? In SAP, it's okay. It will all, if your source is ECC, your description, material description will always be equal to or less than 40, right? But if your data is coming from Oracle, if your data is coming from SQL file, sorry, um from your Excel files, then this rule makes sense. As of now, this does not make sense because the data is coming from ECC and we can at max have 40 characters. So let me just change this rule to 20 characters just to make sure we are getting some failed data. Okay, you know MAKT can only hold max of 40 characters, right? So this rule will be something like check if the material description is more than 40 characters. And let's say this rule is again inconsistency. So what I will do, from this, I know I have to extract Mara, Marcy, and MAKT. Let me do that. Let me get Mara. Let me get Marcy. Let me get MAKT. As usual, reverse the primary key. Let's save this once. See, we have written in the rule for plant XX. We will decide this plant XX later. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, it can be 1000, anything. But I will not use any filter criteria in BODS. What I will do, instead, I will create a view in Information Steward so that you guys know. You will also learn how to create a view in Information Stewards. So let's not keep any extraction criteria over here. Let's simply extract everything. Why we should not keep an extraction criteria here? Because as of now, they are asking you to check the data quality for plant 1000. After 1 month, there will be some other pilot, right? Then you will need to make adjustments here. So better is extract everything from BODS and then later keep on creating the views in IS. That is easy. As of now, they might ask you, hey, create a view, do the data profiling for 1000 plant. After 2 weeks, they can ask us, hey, do the data profiling for 2022 plants, right? Now, if I keep on changing the extraction criteria here, my rules are getting affected. Why? Because if as of now I'm doing for pilot UK, it has a plant 1000. Since I'm using the same data, if I change any data over here, my profiling scores are getting changed. So it's better do not keep any extraction criteria here. You create views in the IS. I will show you how to do that. It should be simply dumping of data. You are simply lifting and shifting it from your ECC to your HANA DB. They might ask me, hey, do this extraction, do this check only for SPRAS, language is equal to E. I will not use anything here because tomorrow they might ask me to do it for China, right? Pilot China. I cannot keep on changing the details in the boards. So let me do MARA underscore IS. Okay. MARC underscore IS. Then it will be MAKT underscore IS. Saranya, since you have issues with your ECC data store, what I will do, mine is working. I will push this to central and then you get the latest from central. It will work for you.
Okay, sure, Brad.
Let's run this. We discussed some job optimization techniques, right? Let's try to implement them as well. What I said, array fetch size should be changed from 1000 to 5000. You can also change this cache to yes, but please do it whenever we are doing from HANA DB to HANA DB. For example, this table is now stored in HANA DB. If I'm doing any operations on this table, this is being used as a source, and I'm creating a target table again in HANA DB. In those cases, use cache. Otherwise, keep the cache as no, because this is coming from outside system. So the first point I said, array fetch size should be changed from 1000 to 5000. Okay, this is one step. The second step I said, change this in options. If you anytime see this grayed out, go to this, untick this, come back, change this to 5000. Again, rows per commit. Let me save it. See, I want to ask you guys one question, whenever you see your SQL database, the table type can be row store. You see? But in HANA DB, we are using the table type as column store. Can anybody tell me the reason? What is the difference between a column store and the row store? What is this table type row store and table type column store? Anyone? A wild guess? What is the difference between a column store and a row store? By by default, HANA DB uses column store. You can change this to row store as well. But what is the difference?
It aggregates all the key figures there. It stores the data as per the columnar rather than the row.
No, buddy. See, basically, it can be vice versa. I'm not sure. So please do some research on this. Whenever your table is having more write operations than read operations, then we select row store. Row store becomes faster. Whenever we have more read statements on a table than write statement or update statements, we choose the column store just to speed up things. Do some research on this. It will be readily available on Google, row store versus column store. What is the difference? Just do some research. Column database, column level databases are superior for analytic processing. What does that mean? It means column store is used whenever we have more select statements. Whenever you are doing some analytics, in analytics, we will not update anything or keep on writing anything. We are always doing the select statements. So for column type, as HANA DB uses the column type, it means your select statements will be faster. Your write and insert and update will be slower. If you select row store, your read statements will be slower. Your what do you call that? Your select will be for column store, insert and update will be faster. That's the difference. Do some research on this, because sometimes someone might ask you 1% of the times. Okay. Then what I said, coming back to the job optimization, I said go to the properties, degree of parallelism, change this to 4. Apply. Okay. Now let's run this. If you want to run it, you can execute it here, or coming at the job level, you can execute it here. If you want to debug something, you can debug using this one. This is validate all. Mostly used features in BODS. Validate all. This is validating a single thing. For example, as of now, it will just validate this job, nothing else. If you want to validate whatever is inside this job and this canvas, you will do validate all. This is the back button, next or forward button. This is your save all. This is your close all tabs. Everything will get closed. This is your variables, and this is your central object library. If you see this grayed out, You need to activate the central object library. You need to go to tools. Then you need to go to central repositories. You need to set up a central repository and then you have to activate it. As of now, this is activated. So you are seeing this like deactivate. Otherwise, you will see an activate button over here. Okay. So let me run it. Now I have the tables extracted, right? If your client is not willing to pay, then what happens is like data migration team, what they do is they extract this data and they do some basic level of profiling in the Excels. But that's not what we recommend. Some of the clients, they are very, I'm going to say they are very reluctant, to use these technologies or use these tools because of budgets. Then what happens is like we simply dump this data and do some basic level checks. Like we will just use if someone is good in Excel, he can create some macros. Otherwise, what people do is like they simply go and do some filtering, like how many materials marked for deletion, then they highlight them in some color. Simple. If they do not want to go deep into the data cleansing. But if you are I'm going to say migration consultant or you are at the architect level, you should always suggest your client, please go with information stewards. Always have a quality check on your data. Otherwise, when you go for the real loads, we will keep on asking you, this is the issue, that is the issue. You will definitely save your time in migration if you are going with a proper approach. So this is the proper approach. Go for data cleansing, go for data quality checks using information stewards. Then based on our reports, we can create the extraction criteria, cross-referencing documents. And then when we go ahead with the data migration, it becomes easy, for everyone. Everybody already knows like how the data is behaving or how the data is being set up in the source system. There is no last moment surprises. Now these tables will be in HANA Studio, right? Mara underscore is, MAKT underscore is, and Marcy underscore is. So what I will do, I will go to my information stewards. I will import these tables now. Before doing that, Saranya, I will try to help you here, So what I will do, I will go here, show in central, check out objects independence without replacement. Check in, no, I want to create it, objects independence. Okay. You try to get the latest version from here, Saranya, from the central and check if it's working for you. If not, then we will see how to resolve it. I will go back to this. There is a project that we created, and these projects will be created by one, maybe your manager or someone or any lead. We create these projects in the CMC console. In the CMC console, there's an option for information stewards, and we can create these projects over here. Now, what is the first step I will be doing for material master? I will import my tables. That is the first thing. This is used for import. Now, let me say Mara underscore is. This is my first one. Why? Is it not working? Mara underscore is. Okay. Now Mara underscore is here. I will again do. I can either do by table by name, or if I click on tables, I can even search this, Marcy underscore is. I don't. I think it's not working over here. but it does work this way as well. Table by name, I will do Marcy underscore IS. I will create one rule, two rules on the table. One rule for plants I will create using a view. So you can then learn how to create a view as well. For rules, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, if you are binding it to a table or a view, it doesn't matter to it. Table by name, MAKT underscore IS. Now I have these three tables. If somebody can just please note down these steps, because it's very confusing to remember all these, you know. The first step is you will extract this data using your BODS. The second step is you will import this. You will import all your needed tables using this option. This one, table by name, I would recommend you create a Word file. Keep all the screenshots so that you remember. Trust me, you will forget this. Maybe after 1 week, you will forget this. I have myself kept one Word file for this, and whenever I want to revisit this, I will go to that file and remember all the steps. But you will forget this if you don't work on IS regularly. Trust me. So keep one file with you. It will help you. The first thing is you will extract the tables in BODS. The second step is you will import those tables in IS. Now I have these tables here, MAKT, MARA, Marcy. If I want to check the data for this MAKT, I will select this here and then I will click here. So this is how my data is looking like. But the drawback of IS is like, we can only see 500 records at a time, you see? So this is how my data is looking like. If I want to, okay. This is my MAKT. This is my MARA. This is how my MARA data is looking. And this is my MARC. Now let's say we want to do the profiling for Pilot UK, and Pilot UK is using, say, Pilot plant is equal to 1000. If you want to have any filters on this, then simply click on filter. Now select the field equal to anything that you wish. So say 1000 or okay. So it will give you filtered data. You want to sort it, you want to export it, anything you can do it over here. Suppose I want to do the profiling for plant 1000. For MARA and MAKT, I don't care. I will simply create my rules on top of MARA and MAKT tables. But how do I create a view for Marcy? I will select this. Then I will create a view. This is how we create a view. I will select create view with join. Then I will name it view underscore MARC underscore IS underscore 1000. Now you can have any fields you want, but I want to select all fields. So I will click on this, then drag them to the right hand side. So you have all these fields over here now. Now I want to have a filter. I do not want all my plants for UK. I want only my works is equal to 1000. Select this, right click in the equals, write 1000. Validate, validation successful, save it. Now your view will be created here. View Marcy IS 1000. Any questions till now? How do we extract the data in BODS? How do we import this data into information stewards? And how do we create a view? Okay. Now there can be one more thing. Like how do we create? If, for example, I need Mara data, and based on plant 1000, I need Mara data. So how can I create a view using two tables? How do I join it? Then you can do like MARA. For example, I need Mara table, but I need it based on Marcy 1000. I need only those materials. Then I will select these two. I will click this, create view with join. Whatever fields you need from Mara, take them. You need all, just select this and take this to the, click this. Everything will be there. And from, say from Marcy, you need plant only. I'm just trying to teach you how to create a view using two or more than one tables, you know. So for example, I selected everything. I don't want these, so I will remove everything. I just want everything only. I just want only Mara, ERSDA and this from here, and then from Marcy I want only works. Okay. Now I will go to my join condition. I will write a join, add. On the left hand side, I will keep Mara. If you wish to use an inner join, you can use an inner join or left outer join. It depends on your requirement. My requirement should be, if, for example, some materials can be there which are not extended to a plant. But if you want to see only those materials which are extended to plant 1000, then I will use an inner join. On the right hand side, I will use Marcy. Then I have to write a join condition. Join condition will be Mara underscore is dot Matner is equal to Marcy underscore is dot Matner. This is the join. Let me validate it. Okay, I need to write it. Let's say Mara underscore Marcy underscore 1000 plant. Something like this. I'm just creating it so that you understand how do we create a view on top of two tables. If you want to use third table as well, you will simply add one more join. That's it. Now let me validate it. Now what was my condition? I just wanted to see the data for plant is equal to 1000. I will simply mention it 1000. Again validate, again save. Now if I go to this table, Mara Marcy plant, this is how my data is going to look like. Only 1000 plant materials will be here. Only those materials that have been extended to plant 1000. You guys follow me? I have shown you how to import tables. I have shown you how to create a view on top of one table. I have shown you how to create a view on top of multiple tables using a join and a filter. If you understand this, then I will go to my information steward rules. Now I am coming to information stewards. I am trying to create my first rule. What is my first rule? My first rule is check material mark for deletion in basic data. So I am going to use Mara table. Okay. The first rule is I'm going here. This is my rules. The second tab. Let me create a rule. The rule is RU01. RU01 is my first rule. Let me use underscore IS here because I already created some rules, so I don't want to be anyone to be confused. Underscore IS underscore IS. So this is my first rule. Now what is the description? I will simply copy it from here. It will only have 50 characters. So whatever fits in, fits. That's okay. Now I told you there will always be a parameter over here. So what is a parameter for me? Accuracy, right? quality dimension will be accuracy. You can select accuracy, completeness, conformity, consistency, anything. It depends on the person who creates this rule. It will be already predefined. I will rename this parameter as quality dimension. Quality dimension. Okay, it will be mentioned. What did I do? I named a rule. I wrote some description. Then I did some change to the quality dimension. As of now, I want to keep it as accuracy. Then approver will be the administrator. Now the rule is about mark for deletion, right? So I will define only one parameter over here. And I will name this parameter as $LOEVM. I know for material, the deletion indicator is LOEVM. This is LOEVM or LVORM? Let me check. I think it is LVORM, sorry. Yes, it's LVORM. So what I will do, I will simply name it as LVORM. If you have more than one parameters, you can add a parameter. Now, I name this parameter as LVORM. I defined a parameter. Now, how do I want this parameter to behave? Remember one thing. In information stewards, everything is reverse. What do I mean by reverse? See, I need to check all those materials where L1 is equal to X, because L1 is equal to X means material is marked for deletion. In information stewards, you will always write the opposite. You will only get the failed data when you write the opposite. Please remember this. I know for a material marked for deletion is LVORM is equal to X. But when you write an expression over here, you will simply write where LVORM not equal to X. You have to write the opposite. Please keep this in mind. The reason for this is we will tell information stewards, buddy, wherever L1 is not equal to X, that's a pass data. We want to get the failed data. So we are writing opposite. I will not write LVORM is equal to X. If I write LVORM is equal to X, I am trying to tell information stewards that LVORM is equal to X is pass data. But that's not pass for us. For us, pass is LVORM is equal to null or LVORM is not equal to X. So whenever you write any information steward rule, you have to do the opposite over here. Keep this in mind. If I am asking you, I need the fail data for plant 1000, you will simply write it over here not equal to 1000. If I ask you, I need data for sales organization 3000, you will write over here not equal to 3000. Please keep that in mind. It will always be the reciprocal over here. You are doing it for material mark for deletion, LVORM is equal to X, but here you will write not equal to X. So I will validate it. Validation is success. Then I will save it. The moment you save it, you will get this option submit for approval. Just click this arrow over here and click approve. My first rule is approved. Okay. Close. Now I created rule 01IS. This is approved. Fine. Let's create other two rules first and then we take it forward. What is the second rule now? My second rule is check material mark for deletion at plant 1000. Now I will use a view. I will not use my table. Go back, hit this button, write the steps. I'm telling you, you will forget. Write the steps. Keep the screenshot in a Word document. What is the description? Let me copy this, paste it here, Same thing. Approver will be administrator. But what will the quality dimension right now? It will be consistency. I will change this to consistency. Now check material mark for deletion. Oh my goodness. Just a moment. Now, again, material mark for deletion. Again, the parameter will be LVORM, right? Don't use this parameter 1, parameter 2. It will be easy for you later on to bind these rules. We have to bind these rules. As of now, I'm just creating the rules. The next step is binding these rules to the tables. Okay, so keep these meaningful values over here. Add expression not equal to X. It will be the same thing every time. Just remember the steps. That's it. Same for BODS and same for information stewards. I validated, I save it, and then I click on this arrow, I approve. Click OK. My 2 rules are done. I see this rule. If I refresh it over here, I see rule 1 is created in accuracy. My rule 2 will be created inside consistency. Now I have my 3rd rule. Now what is the 3rd rule? Let's create one more rule. Let's name it this, and then what's the description? You need to write the meaningful descriptions so that at some later point of time you remember what this rule is doing. Okay. Approver, administrator, then no, I don't need this. It's okay. It will be consistency, right? Yes, consistency. Then material description is MAKTX, right? MAKTX. So what are we going to check here? Again, I will repeat. You have to do the reverse. For me, I need to check if any material description is more than 20. So what is passed for me? Less than or equal to 20, right? Whatever is more than 20 is fail for me. So I will write the reverse here. String of length less than or equal to 20. Now, whatever will be more than 20, it's a fail data for me. That's what I have been repeating so many times. We have to write the opposite over here. For me, the rule is length of string is greater than 20, right? That's a fail data for me. But in information steward, you will write the opposite. Greater opposite is less. So we will write string is less than or equal to 20. Validate. Everything looks good. Save. Approve. Now this completes my first step. That is creation of rules. I have all 3 rules created now. The next step is binding these rules to the tables or views. Any questions till now? How do we create a rule? Yes, no? Anyone has a question or any question, anyone till now? How do we create rules? Someone please speak up.
No, brother, all good.
Okay. What is the next step? I created the rules. Now the next step is I have to bind them. How do I bind them? I will select this rule. I selected this rule. I click on this button, create a new rule binding. Someone wants to take a screenshot, please take it. The next step is to bind these rules. How do I bind it? I selected this rule. I click on this button, create a new rule binding. Now, what will it ask me? It will ask me for the source. For rule number 1, the source is table. That is MARAIS. See, I wrote a meaningful name to this parameter, so it will automatically get mapped to LVerb. If I write param1, param2, then I have to keep on selecting from here. You can select the field from here. Whatever field you want to bind this rule, you can select. But if you write a meaningful name over here, this work is saved. So I want to bind this rule on this table Mara IS, and the field is LBORM, because I want to check my data against mark for deletion. I save it and close it. Now it's telling me, hey, this rule is being bound to Mara IS and the column is LVORM. My second rule, I need to bind it to Information Steward view. So I go here, I open the views. Now this is my view, view Marcy IS. Again, automatically it will select LVORM from this. If you do not write a meaningful name, then you have to keep on searching from the list. That's the reason it's better to keep meaningful names. Save and close. I select my third view. Again, I click on rule binding. Now I select my table. This is MAKT. Again, MAKTX is selected. I save and close. This completes my binding. I will repeat the whole process. First, you will go to BODS, you will extract data. Then you will come to Information Stewards, you will import those tables. Then you will create the rules. Then you will bind them. Okay? Now, once you bind these rules, you need to go to Workspace Home and you need to go to Rule Results. I will again repeat. The first step will start from here. From here. You will import some data. Then you will go to this step. You will create some rules. You will bind it in the third step. Then you will come back to this workspace and then you will click on rule results. Now I know my first rule is on this table, right? Mara IS. I have written my first rule on Mara IS. I will select this and then I will click on this calculator. I will create a task for it. This is the last step, creating a task. Say I select like task for rule RU01. I write, I don't think I think hyphen will not work. Task underscore RU01 underscore Mara marked deletion. Okay. Now, okay. Simply, I will save and run now. I selected the table. I created a task. Let me copy it. And then save and run. The moment you click on save and run, a task is created inside this and it's running right now. You see, something is running. Task RU01 Mara mark deletion. Let it run. Then we create the task for other two tables or views. This is complete. I will again go back to Workspace Home. I will go to Rule Results. I will open my views right now. because I have a Mara Marcy node. This is my view where I have my second rule. Calculate score. I will write the task RU02. I will say Marcy underscore 1000 mark deletion. Simply save and run now. Then my third rule. I will select this MAKT. I will do this. Again, I will write a rule 3 MAKT, then length. You can even change the input sampling from 25 to 50, max 50. So what does this mean? Whenever you want to see the data at max, you can see 50 failed records. I will do this. I will now go here. My tasks, everything should be completed. This is complete. Now, why did we create tasks for this information steward rules? Suppose you gave some data to your business owners. They went back to their source system and they cleaned their system. Now they will ask you to calculate the scores again. So what will you do? You will simply come to BODS and run this job again so that you have the refresh data now, right? Then inside your IS, you will simply select these three and you will just run it. That's it. You don't need to create anything now. Everything is already done. You will just come and run these tasks so that you get the refresh scores. Now, where do we get the scores? I come here to my workspace home. I go to rule results. Select this to refresh all. Now you see, for my Marcy, I have a score of 9.83. For my MAKT, I have a score of 5.94. For my Mara, I have a score of 9.92. If I click on this, I will get all those records that are failing. So out of 2,19,000 records, 89,000 records are those where the description is more than 20 characters. You see, this is your failed data. This will be more than 20. If you come here, if you select this 9.92, out of 23,000 records, 178 records are those where the material is marked for deletion. If I go to the right side, you see all these deletion indicators will be marked. If I go to my view Marcy, I select this 9.88 score, then all these materials will be marked for deletion at plant 1000. Where is LVORM? It should be somewhere. Just a moment. Okay, see, this is an NAN. It's not X. That's the reason it's coming up. We need to adjust the rule accordingly. I can either go to, actually LVORM should be either X or blank. Since this is a test data, they have done something like NAN. This should not be here. But your LVORM should be either blank or X. Only two values can be possible for LVORM. I don't know why this is some dummy data. That's the reason you are seeing NAN. But you cannot see any record in the failed data where LVORM is null. Now this is my score corresponding to each rule. Data owners want to see the score at the object level now. So what do? I create a scorecard. Now my scorecard will give me a consolidated report based on each parameter, that is the quality dimension, and for each object. As of now, I am doing it for material master, right? So I will simply go to this step now. the last step, scorecard setup. We extracted data, we imported those tables in Information Stewards, then we created some rules, then we did some binding to the tables, then we created some tasks. We ran those tasks, and now we have the failed data, we have the score corresponding to each rule. Now we want to create a bigger picture corresponding to one object. I will come here on this scorecard setup. I will create a scorecard. For example, I want to create a scorecard for material underscore UK. Let me save it. You see this warning sign over here? It means I created a scorecard, but this is not complete as of now. Unless and until this warning sign is completely gone, I cannot create the report. So what I will do, I will now click on this one. So what are the quality dimensions we have for material? One is accuracy and one is consistency. So I will select these two and save it. Now I will select this accuracy. I will select the rules. So what rules do I have? I have only one rule for accuracy. Okay, I will save it. Now you will see, okay. Now for this particular rule, I need to define the rule binding. So this is already selected. I will select this. I will simply select this binding because there is only one binding for this rule, RU01. That is on the MARA IS. This will tell me, hey, this has a binding on MARA IS on column LVORM. So you will simply save it. Now you see for rule, warning sign is gone. This quality dimension, warning sign is gone. I need to do the same steps for consistency. I will select consistency. I will select this. And now I will select these two rules. Whatever rules are there, you will select for that particular object. I will not select all the rules for consistency. In consistency, there will be rules for material, customer, vendor, pricing, BOM, anything, SOPO. But you will only select rules that are corresponding to this material. Now, I will click on this. I will select this view, save. I will now select this plus select this binding and save. Now you see my material UK, no warning sign. I'm good to go. So what I will do next, my scorecard setup has been done. I will now go to my scorecard. If you don't see it here, you please select this button now. Now this is my material UK scorecard. Now what is the scorecard telling me? 89% of my data is good from the source point of view. For accuracy, my total score is 9.92. That is 99.2% of my data is good. For consistency, my 79% of data is good. If I want to check all the details in a single go, I will simply click on this button, data quality level. Okay. You see, I will select this material. Now I have this accuracy 9.92 score, consistency, I have 7.92 score. If I want to see for accuracy, I have one rule. And this rule is RU01IS. This has a score of 9.92. If I'm selecting this, trend not available. Okay. If I select this consistency, I select this. What happens usually is when you run these rules 2-3 times, then some trend line is also available. You can see some graphs over here, like on 17th of August we ran this, then this was the score, and then say the business owners go back, they clean their system, then you run these again, then you will have some graphs. If your graph is like this, a straight line, it means there is no source cleansing is happening from the source point of view. But if the graph is moving like this, it means some constant cleansing is happening. You will keep on running these rules so that your data is cleansed maybe 99%, 98%. I mean to say, till the time your business is now we are good from the source point of view. We will keep on running these. Now, if I let me run these rules again, I will go back to my workspace. I will go back to my tasks. I will again run these rules. Let me run these. Now, I think I should get some graphs over there. Okay, this is complete. Let's simply go to scorecard. This is my scorecard. Let me refresh. If I select this rule 1, just give me a second. Let me refresh the whole screen. When you run it like 6-7 times, then there's a trend line over there, which will tell us if the data is being cleansed from the source or not. So if I select this rule. Okay, I don't know why I need to go to the scorecard. I will do now, and then I will click data quality details. Now you see, if I select, okay, this is my material, this is my accuracy. So basically you should see you should see some data over here. Once you run it a couple of more times, you will see some lines over here. Like on 18th, I ran it, the score was 9.92. Then on maybe 19th, I ran it, I executed all my tasks, then the score line may change to 9.92, or there is, if they, I mean to say, created some bad data again in the source system, the line can be sometimes like the downward, just to show you like the data is not being cleaned, rather they created some more bad data. You see, ultimately, see, we ran it 2 times, 17 and 17, but you will run it maybe fortnightly or once a month. Then your graphs will be either changing, it should not remain a straight line. Whenever you go to your business with this failed data, with this scorecard, they will do some cleansing. Then this line should at least be close to this 10, so that our data is looking good from the source point of view. You will use it 99% of the times in your projects in the discovery phase. Before your data migration will start, you will use information. You will use information stewards. Yeah, so this is how you can get even the failed data straight away, right from here, If I take you here, I select this object, I select this, then I selected the rule. I can even get the failed data. Straight away, I can see everything in the scorecard. I can even do the export to Excel. And you will keep on sending this data to your business, and we are expecting them to clean the data. If they do not clean, they have to provide us a mitigation plan. So this is the failed data. Then what will happen is like, based on these reports, Your extraction criteria will change. Your XRIFs will be created. See. Now this is the data. You see? But I told you, there is a limitation. You can only have at max 25 to 50 records. So how do we handle this? What basis guys do? They create a profiler repository for this. Whenever you do information stewards, you will have at max, I have already shown you, at max you can have the 25, you had 25 records there, right? Then I changed that to 50. So at max, you can have 50 records in your export to Excel file. But if your record is more than 50, what will happen? You cannot export it, right? So what happens is like your your basis guy, your basis team, they will set up a profiler repository. And when we go to tasks, for example, this task, if I edit it, then I will keep that profiler repository over here. They need to create one repository for this fail data so that I can get all the fail data. Information stewards has a limitation. If you keep 25, the moment you do something like export to Excel, you will only get 25. At max, you can keep 50. You cannot keep 51. But again, you will only have 50 in your export to Excel file. So how will we eliminate this issue? We will tell our basis guys, please create a profiler repository. Then every time you create a task, you will select that profiler repository here, save all fail data to the profiler repository, and then you can export all the records into your Excel. That's all about information stewards. This is seriously easy. This is very easy. But trust me, for these basic steps, if you remember these basic steps, you can do anything in information stewards. And the moment you have more than 6-7 years of experience, you will be asked on information stewards.